Hey guys, CoffinSkate here with another game collection update. Haven't done one of these in a while, haven't really uploaded in a while, and I do want to get more uploads in. It's just been busy with work and shit. Yeah, so I do got some pretty cool video games to share with you guys, as well as some video game related stuff, and just some other cool stuff that you guys might actually think that you might actually like. So, without further ado, start with the video games as usual, and then move on to everything else. So, starting off with Atelier Rorona for PlayStation 3. This is Atelier Rorona, The Alchemist of Arland. So I never played any Atelier games before, and I hadn't really picked up a PS3 RPG in a while at the time, and I figured, you know what, why not start grabbing the Atelier games? It's the only one I grabbed since then, but yeah, I will definitely be picking up some of these games. We've been meaning to check the series out for a while, so yeah, it's like $30 on Amazon, so brand new as well. So, grab some water. Okay. Next is Dead Space, and I wasn't really planning on getting this game around when it came out. However, one of my siblings kind of convinced me to grab this game because, well, they were getting the collector's edition, and long story short, the version that was offered for PC through Limited Run was for EA Play, and they decided to just grab the PS5 version so that I would have a copy. But then I would, they asked me to send them $70 so they could buy a copy of the game for Steam, and I was like, you know what, might as well, fuck it, why not? So I got it. I didn't get this until like a few days after it came out, but that being said, I did play through this, and this is one of the best survival horror games I've ever played, period. I absolutely loved this game. Now, to give a brief history of, for me when it comes to Dead Space, I played a little bit of the original on the PC, also a little bit in the 360 apparently. I never got far into it. I got like a couple chapters into it, but I never got around to finishing it. So I just played a little bit of Dead Space Extraction, which was pretty solid, and I like me some arcade rail shooters, so one for Dead Space is actually pretty good. So that being said, I was actually very excited for this remake, despite not really having played through the original Dead Space, and I loved this game. Graphically it looked gorgeous. I played through this game with headphones on, so I had the 3D audio as well, which the audio design in this game was amazing. Soundtrack is also really good as well. The gameplay is so much fun. I love all the different tools and weapons you have in this game. From what I do remember, having played the original Dead Space, what I can say is I liked a lot of the quality of life improvements that were made in this game, specifically in like the level design and mainly just level design and how more streamlined the game was in terms of progressing through the story. So yeah, if you haven't played the original Dead Space, or whether you've played the original Dead Space or not, this is absolutely worth checking out. Just one thing I should mention, unlike the original Dead Space, Isaac Clarke is fully voiced in this game. However, they brought back the original voice actor for him from Dead Space 2 and 3. It actually sounds really good in this game, so highly recommend this, especially whether you've played the original Dead Space or not. This is an amazing survival horror game that I cannot recommend enough. Yeah, highly recommend this. It is only on PS5 and Xbox Series X in terms of the consoles, but it is very good and absolutely worth checking out. Alright, next is Ratchet & Clank for the PS4. I haven't really played this a whole lot. I mainly grabbed this because I got this digitally through back when Sony was doing the whole play-at-home thing during COVID. They gave this game away for free. Just figured I'd grab a physical copy, so I have played a little bit of this though, and it is quite fun when I played it. So yeah, it plays 60 frames per second on PS5 as well. Alright, next is Metroid Prime Remastered. Had to snag this because this game was actually, at the time this game was kind of selling out everywhere, and I really wanted a physical copy, so snagged one. I haven't gotten that far into this, but from my played of it, it is gorgeous. It looks amazing. The original GameCube version already looked really good, but this version looked even better. I love some of the quality of life improvements made in this version of the game, namely the dual analog stick controls. This game now allows for usage of both analog sticks, for the right analog stick specifically for aiming, and then the left analog stick can be, it's a more modernized control scheme and it plays so much better. There is also the option of playing it with the original GameCube style controls, which is perfect if you have a GameCube controller adapter. And then you can also play this with the with the pointer controls, like on the Prime Trilogy or Metroid Prime 3. I personally have been sticking with the dual analog sticks, like a more modern control scheme, but I haven't played this in a while, but it is very good. It plays beautifully, 60 frames per second. One of the best looking games on the Switch, honestly. So if you never played Metroid Prime, or whether you played the original or not, this is absolutely essential. I cannot recommend it enough. Definitely try and grab a copy of this as soon as you can, because I have a feeling this could possibly become rare and expensive down the road. So yeah, pretty possibly rare. I don't know. Alright, since I brought up Dead Space a moment ago, the original Dead Space from PS3, I loved the remake, like I said, and figured I'd pick up a copy of the game for the PS3, because I do want to actually sit down and play through this just to really see the differences. So obviously there's huge differences in graphics, but specifically in just just to see the differences. So yeah, but it is a complete copy as well, so can't really complain there. So I really want to get the limited edition for Dead Space 2, because that comes with Dead Space Extraction. For that though, I'd need like the PlayStation Eye, and I would also need the specific version of the PlayStation Move, because the versions that they released, the version of the PlayStation Move that they released during when PSVR was coming out, or like a little bit into the PS4 era, yeah, those are not compatible with PlayStation 3, unfortunately. So yeah. Alright, this is a game that I finally went back to after not having played it for a while, and that is Fatal Frame: Mask of the Lunar Eclipse. Now, unlike the previous Fatal Frame game, Made in Black Water, this game I specifically only imported. I didn't buy it digitally off PlayStation Store for the US. I specifically ordered this from PlayAsia, and this was how I just first got the game. I didn't buy it digitally or anything. I just ordered the physical copy, and I did make a Hong Kong account to get the upgrade. I will say that. So I've been playing the PS5 version, which still requires the physical disc. And what do I think of this game so far? I'm about like 3-4 hours into it, and I'm really enjoying this game so far. Now, little history with this game. This game was only released in Japan initially when it came out on the Wii. And believe it or not, this game was actually developed by Grasshopper Manufacturer, who, if for those of you who are unaware, is I don't know if he's the one heading the studio, or I don't know what his background is with the studio, but it's a development studio that Suda51 is a part of. So yeah, he helped make this game. Yeah, I haven't really played many of his games, if I'm being honest. I do have the original No More Heroes on the Switch. I just haven't got around to playing it yet. I've heard really good things about it. It's really one I can think of off the top of my head. Oh yeah, there's stuff like Shadows of the Damned, Killer is Dead, and whatnot. So Killer 7 is another one. Actually, now that I think about it, I think there was one Suda51 game that I did play, but I can't remember what it was. So, but no, aside from this one, of course. And yeah, I'm really enjoying this so far. The premise or story is pretty interesting. The gameplay, as usual, is very good. Controls are very clunky, I guess you'd say. They don't really feel that great. However, Fatal Frame's kind of known for that. One of the main issues I've been having with this game, not the biggest deal in the world, honestly. It's more of just a nitpick more than anything. This game has like 3 pause buttons, and each one does different shit. Like you have a regular pause button that that brings up the reload from last checkpoint, or load from last save, from your last save, or brings up the options menu and whatnot. The typical pause menu, but then you also have the status menu. You look at items and shit. Then there's a pause button for the map. I always get the three confused, but it's not a huge deal. Yeah, the PS5 version, by the way, plays beautifully, 60 frames per second. I would imagine it plays in native 4K. I don't have a 4K display, so I've been playing 1080p display, but it still looks really good. I have noticed that the textures in a lot of places are like still very, very pixelated, and still not that great, but still looks really good graphically. So like they did a really good job sort of remastering this game. But yeah, if you haven't played this yet, it's very good. I was a huge fan of Made in Blackwater, or Fatal Frame 5, and I'm really enjoying this so far. I know I gotta go back and finish up the other Fatal Frame games on PS2. I know I started a Let's Play ages ago for the original Fatal Frame, and I never went back and finished that. I should probably do that at some point here, but yeah, especially the fact that I got quite a ways through it, so, and I was really enjoying it too. So, all right, next is the Legend of Heroes Trails to Azure Limited Edition. I did get this, and I also have an unboxing of this, so if you want to see that, check out my channel. And might as well also continue on showing Falcom stuff, and Legend of Heroes Trails into Reverie. This is the PS5 version, and this was the PS4 version, by the way, as well. Again, I did an unboxing of this, so if you want to see that, check out my channel. I haven't gotten around to playing either one of these games yet, because as a matter of fact, I still have not beaten Trails from Zero, and that's kind of one I've been coming back to as well, so, because I've been really meaning to, because for one, Trails Through Daybreak finally got announced for, which is Kurono Kiseki. Kurono Kiseki. That is finally getting a North American release, and I'm very excited for that, because that game looked fucking amazing. So, kind of want to rush through the Trails games. I specifically want to play through all the Trails games that came up, that take place before Reverie, because I want to have like a full grasp and full context of everything that happened prior to it. So I've at least played through all the Cold Steel games before today. So, all right, next is Resident Evil 4 Remake. Had to get this. Resident Evil, favorite horror game franchise of all time. For the longest time, Resident Evil 4, the original, was my favorite Resident Evil. Yeah, just had to get the remake. And what are my thoughts on this game? So, like I said, Resident Evil 4 was my favorite Resident Evil for the longest time. Resident Evil 2 Remake came out, and that became my new favorite Resident Evil. And Resident Evil 4 came back with a vengeance. Yeah, this game is amazing. And when this game was rumored, I wasn't sure how I felt about it, because I was like, why remake this when Code Veronica needs a remake more than this? Because I thought Resident Evil 4 was a perfect game. Well, they managed to take a perfect game and made it even better. They kept the things that worked, and in some cases made things that already worked even better. They fixed things that didn't, or either just straight up removed it, as well as just made some new additions to the game, and on the top of just making the game look absolutely amazing in terms of graphics. And I played this game with ray tracing on the performance mode, with the hair strands on, and it just looked insane. This game looked amazing. Yeah, I had such a fun time with this. I played through this game multiple times. I did platinum the game as well, it was just such a fun time, with this game, I was kind of afraid that they were gonna kind of do away, not do away, but kind of not have as many hilarious one-liners like they did in the original Resident Evil 4. But no, they had that in spades. Like, some of the lines in this game from Leon were just comedy gold. So, But yeah, it's amazing. I absolutely loved this game. This game also felt a little bit more survival horror-ish compared to the original Resident Evil 4, and that was amazing. So, absolutely loved this game. I also did buy the deluxe edition content, so I got like all the different outfits as well as the original soundtrack DLC, which, you know, I should also mention the soundtrack in this game is amazing. A lot of the tracks there are quite a few tracks that they actually completely redid for this game, that still sound very familiar yet sound so good. But regardless, I keep it to the original soundtrack because I like the original soundtrack more. But that being said, this is a amazing remake, and the Separate Ways DLC, by the way, I got that when it came out. That was very good. I played through that in like 1 or 2 sittings. It was amazing. So if you haven't played Resident Evil 4 Remake, it is absolutely an amazing game. Gotta pick up the PS4 copy so you get the Platinum Trophy on that version. Okay. Next, I did get a new console. Well, it's not a brand new console. It's a used console I got off eBay, but I want to pick up one of these for a while. And it's not a Series X, but I do want to get a Series X at some point though. But I've been wanting to play some 360 games for a while, and finally decided to grab an Xbox 360. Got an Xbox 360 Slim. This also came with a 250 gigabyte hard drive, and to go along with it, this also came with a really nice controller, with monochrome buttons, and both sticks do suffer from drift, unfortunately, but shouldn't really complain. And I'll admit, this was one of the reasons why I grabbed a 360 was because of the Kinect. Now, I know this thing is not well liked. Let's just put it that way. It didn't really. It wasn't really something everyone was on board with. Because that was when Sony and Microsoft were trying to kind of bring in the more casual audiences, I guess you could say. With Sony had the PlayStation Move, and then Microsoft had the Kinect. And the Kinect was probably the worst of the two. But that being said, there were some solid games that came out on it. This also came with it as well, the Kinect Adventures. I haven't played. I actually have not played this since I got it. But that being said, I do remember playing this years ago when I got my original Kinect, back when I lived with my dad. And I had quite a bit of fun playing this. I didn't really put a whole lot of time into it, but this was fun for a little bit. So, and then, but this was the reason why I wanted to get a 360 and a Kinect. That was the Dance Central game. So I also grabbed Dance Central 2. This was $10. I already had the third game, and I still only grabbed the first game. The first game is luckily not that expensive. Kinect games are really inexpensive, but yeah, I loved, I may love metal music, but I have a huge soft spot for some pop music, and Dance Central was kind of helped with that. I'm more into like the stuff from like the 90s all the way up to like the early 2010s. That's more what I'm into. This game was a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun playing playing Dance Central 2 and 3 as well. So I played these religiously. Honestly, Dance Central 2 was such a fun game, and it felt pretty nostalgic going back to that. Honestly, I still got it. I may be way out of shape compared to many years ago when I was playing those games quite a bit, but I still had some fun. I was able to at least get 5 stars on like 2 or 3 songs in had. So, all right, next is Kodadama, The 7 Mysteries of Fushizawa. I got this out of morbid curiosity. I had no idea what it was. I didn't really have much of. I didn't entirely understand what I was getting myself into. I mainly just saw this screenshot and I was like, "Fuck, Honey Bomb." So But yeah, I don't know. It, I don't know. It has like some paranormal, like some supernatural shit going on in this game, and yeah, I played it like once, and I don't know, I haven't played it since, but I mainly just got it just out of morbid curiosity. So yeah. All right. Next is Lego Star Wars: The Skywalker Saga. I haven't put a whole lot of time into this, but this was a Lego game that I was actually pretty damn excited for. It looked pretty damn amazing. I mean, I haven't played a Lego Star Wars game since Lego Star Wars 2 on the DS of all things. So, but yeah, I was actually pretty excited for this. I heard really good things about it as well. So yeah, I'll definitely have to play more of that at some point. All right, next is Call of Duty Black Ops 2. I had to pick this up for the 360 because this was the version I played all those years ago, and it is my favorite Call of Duty. Dare I say, this is within my top 50 favorite games of all time. I have so many fond memories playing this game with friends from school and just people I met online. It was just a damn good Call of Duty, and the campaign was also really good. The multiplayer was a blast, and zombies always is always good fun, unless it's Vanguard. But yeah, I loved Black Ops 2. The box art is not in the best shape. I mean, except for yeah, there you go. You can tell it's suffered water damage, but I had to pick up Black Ops 2. This is ever since I got it at 360, I had to pick up a copy of this. So, and this game is also backwards compatible with Series X. So, yeah, can't really complain with that. I don't remember how much I paid for it, honestly, but regardless, Digimon Story Cyber Sleuth. I had the sequel, which I still not played yet, but I had to pick up the PS4 version. I had to pick up this game because I've been wanting to play this game for ages. So I don't remember how much I paid for it. I want to say it was like $10. I know this game is not really, it was pretty damn cheap, but I've been wanting to play this for a while, so I had to grab that. Alright, next is Crisis Core Final Fantasy VII Reunion. I already talked about this game because I got the PS5 version ages ago, and I already talked about this game in a previous video. But I wanted to pick up the PS4 version because I wanted to platinum that version as well. Yeah, to summarize, this is the best way to play Crisis Core. Again, the only problem I had with this was the voice acting being very hit or miss, but otherwise, this is a great version, a great remake of Crisis Core that I cannot recommend enough. Alright, next is Shantae for the PS5. Mystic Ryan was talking about grabbing these games in the PS5. I figured, you know what, I'm gonna, I should probably do the same because these games tend to get really expensive, especially on Nintendo Switch actually, and I think on PS4 as well, so. But yeah, and I never played the Shantae games before, so I figured this wouldn't be a bad one to kind of pick up and start with. And here's also the card as well. So, from my understanding, Limited Run won't be doing these cards anymore, but I could be wrong. So, but it comes with a manual as well. So, but yeah, I played this a little bit. This is a port of the original Game Boy Color game, and I like what I've played of it so far. It's a pretty solid 2D platformer developed by Way Forward. So, yeah, definitely plan on playing more of that. So, don't know when, but I do plan on playing more of that. Let's move on to some more special editions just to get them out of the way. First up is Inscription for the PS5. So this was an indie game that I played last year for the PS5 version, and this was a game I just fell in love with. If you're not familiar with this, this is a roguelike card game, or like a roguelike escape room card game, and with a very unique art style, and the card game portion is actually pretty deep and pretty fun. So yeah, when I heard there was a physical copy coming out from Special Reserve Games, this is the first time I ever ordered from them. I had to snag this. I got this special edition, which was like an extra $15. Comes in this nice box. And they're all numbered, so mine is 854 out of 1,250. You get a special a foil card. And then you also get a physical copy of the game with this box art that is unique to this special edition. So there's the actual game itself, and it actually comes with an actual manual. So yeah, if you've not played this game yet, this is a must. I loved this game. I really had no complaints with this game. I will say this, I'm sure the best way to play this game is on PC. I won't get into the details why, because it would kind of get into spoilers, but the best way to play this, if you want full immersion, is to play this on PC. But this is an unbelievable game that I cannot recommend enough. If you haven't played Inscription yet, please check it out. It's such a unique game. And then next I had to get this, Final Fantasy 16 for the PS5. This is one of the reasons why I got a PS5, and I also pre-ordered this from the Square Enix store. And I also got this, I think it's upside down. Got this cool banner set. It's like a small set of banners that are for like all the different kingdoms in the game, all the different locations. So I can't remember the names of these off the top of my head because it's been a hot minute since I played this. I have finished this game. It took me like 140 plus hours. So there you go. It. So, what are my thoughts on this game? This is one of my favorite games of the year, if I'm being honest. Could possibly be my game of the year. I know I've not played Baldur's Gate 3, but as of now, could possibly be my game of the year. And let me also open up the deluxe edition here. So it comes with this really cool box. So open it up. The contents comes with a map of Valestia. You get the game itself and a steelbook. So I'll show this. So there you go. Yeah, this game was incredible. Graphically looked amazing. It's a stunning game. I played this on a 1080p display, and for once, normally I play games in the frame rate mode. This was a different story. I played this game in the resolution mode because the frame rate mode was kind of iffy, if I'm being honest. The frame rate when playing it in the performance mode I wasn't really satisfied with it, if I'm being honest. So I decided to just play this in the resolution mode, and it still played really well. The frame rate was still a little iffy at times, but let me tell you, this was an amazing action RPG. I mean, they got the guy who designed the combat for Devil May Cry, so you know, say more. The combat in this game is super fun. The story is really interesting. The lore is actually pretty deep as well, and soundtrack is unbelievable in this game as well. And the boss fights, especially later on, were amazing. Had such a fun time with Final Fantasy 16. If you have not played this yet, it is amazing. One of my absolute favorite games of the year. Again, could possibly be my game of the year. It is absolutely amazing. Alright, next is JoJo's Bizarre Adventure All-Star Battle R for the PS4. I grabbed the PS4 version because you can't use DualShock 4 controllers on PS5 games, which I honestly think it makes no sense, but you know, whatever floats their boat, honestly. I say it makes no sense because if it's because of all the DualSense features and whatnot, you could easily, most games allow you to turn those off anyway, so I don't see what the big deal is. But this does give you access to the PS5 upgrade. So, but that being said, I have played this a little bit. I've got to be honest, I haven't really gotten that into JoJo in terms of the anime itself. Like, I remember watching Stardust Crusaders, and I've heard time and time again that's like the best part from what I remember. And I don't know. I wasn't really that into it. I wasn't really getting that into it. I watched like the first 6 episodes, and I don't know. I wasn't really engaged in the characters of the story or anything. So, um, but that being said, uh, yeah, seems like a solid fighting game. I don't have much to really say on it, but it seems like a solid game. I do also want to point out I did get Street Fighter 6. I just bought it digitally. Um, Normally I buy the game physically. However, again, this was a game where, again, you can't use PS4 controllers on PS5 games. Although there are now adapters that allow you to use PS4 controllers on PS5 fighting games. So, not the biggest deal in the world now. So, I just have to get like 1 or 2 of those adapters. But anyways, and also I thought, because I go to local fighting game community meetups every Saturday. I at least try to, and I usually bring a setup. And to my surprise, they were running the PS5 version. But I thought they were going to run the PS4 version. They probably run the PS5 version because that's what Capcom runs. So, but I don't know. But that being said, Street Fighter 6, from what I played of it, is amazing. I haven't really been this into a Street Fighter game since Street Fighter 4, and it is so much fun. It looks gorgeous, plays beautifully. If you're wondering who I main in the game, currently it's Ryu, but I do kind of want to shop around, thinking about it now. But Ryu can do some sick shit in this game, so yeah. But I like Street Fighter 6. It's a really fun game. Definitely see about grabbing a physical copy because the game is absolutely a lot of fun. Speaking of games that are really fun, I did pick up Armored Core 6 Fires of Rubicon for the PS5. Actually took I remember this game came out on like the 25th. I ended up taking, normally I wouldn't normally request days off because of the release of a game. But this was a different story because not only was this game coming out on the 25th, but the Gran Turismo movie came out that day, and I wanted to watch that. So, yeah, which I did watch. That movie was fucking amazing. To my surprise, that was one of the best, just an absolutely amazing movie. Whether you're a fan of Gran Turismo or not, I would actually highly recommend that movie. I was surprised by how good it was. So that being said, yeah, Armored Core 6, this was a game I was quite excited for. Now, here's my history with Armored Core. I played the original Armored Core on the PS1 because it was a game my dad showed me, and you know I had fun with it. But like, of course, as a kid, I was too stupid to know that the game really required you to really customize and fine tune your mech. But as a kid, I looked at it as oh, cool mech game. I get to customize I get to make a mech and, you know, wreck shit. Yeah, it was way more deep than that. And I remember the game being hard as hell, and I now have it on my Vita, which is honestly, I get this is gonna sound strange, but honestly, playing Armored Core 1 on the PS Vita, as weird as this is gonna sound, is the best way to play it officially, outside of playing on an emulator on PC. And that's something I should probably do a video on at some point, but to sum up why I say that in like an official way is because, like, for me, emulation is the last resort. Emulating on a PC is the last resort, or playing it on a modded console. So I'll do a video explaining more about that at some point. But yeah, yeah, the original Armored Core, hard as hell. And I also played Formula Front on the PSP. That was the first Armored Core game I actually owned myself, and I had some fun with it. But again, I didn't understand that. I didn't really get that mech customization was like a huge thing you had to do in the game. That was like a main part of the game. So now, many years later, Armored Core 6 was coming out. I decided to actually modded my PS3 and installed an ISO for Armored Core 5, kind of to just prepare myself. And now I have a much better understanding of how to customize my mech. Granted, I don't think I'm the greatest at it, but you know, I at least understand it well enough to get the job done, I guess you'd say, no pun intended. So that being said, I have finished this game, and this is one of the best action games I've played. It is super fun, one of my favorite games of the year. Had a blast with this, no pun intended. You know, just customizing my mech. Some of the bosses in this game are super fun. Combat is a blast. I'm kind of surprised they didn't do like a multiplayer beta for that, because the game has a versus mode. I'm kind of surprised they didn't do like a network test or a multiplayer beta or anything, but you know, it is what it is. But I had a lot of fun playing this. I haven't dove too much into the multiplayer because honestly what I really want to do is just run through the game, get all the parts, and then really start to dive into the multiplayer. But yeah, the game was super fun. It looks gorgeous as well. I played this in the performance mode, and let me just say, this does a better job at sticking around 60 FPS than Elden Ring does on its performance mode. But that being said, it's an amazing game. I had a lot of fun playing this. I do want to go back and platinum this. Same with Final Fantasy 16. It's super fun. If you haven't played Armored Core 6, I would say, if you've not played Armored Core 6, if you don't have a display that supports VRR, if you have PS5, pick up a PS4 version if you want the best performance. Hear me out. The PS4 version runs at locked 60 frames per second. Even though the PS5 version runs at pretty solid 60 FPS, even though it's not locked, you'll get the best performance if you just play the PS4 version on a PS5. So, just saying. Alright, next is Death Stranding, Director's Cut. This was just something I figured I'd pick up for the collection. It was like $10 from Best Buy. I played a little bit of the original Death Stranding on the PS4. I liked what I played of it, honestly. I see why people were not a fan of it, and I will admit, objectively speaking, it's not great, but I like what I played of it. It's pretty relaxing in a weird way. So, yeah. Alright, next, I did pick up Mortal Kombat 1 for the PS5. I wasn't intending on getting this as soon as I did, however, this was an instance where it was like, local fighting game community is running this game, so figured might as well just grab this and figured give them another setup to use. Not knowing that there was also unlockable shit in this game, yeah, so I haven't really played this all too much, honestly. I do want to play more of it because it looks sick as fuck, but I've heard people are basically ready to move on from this game, so. But when I played it looks gorgeous, and it looks ridiculously fun, so yeah. Alright, next, I went to a Half Price Books, and I grabbed this, Guitar Hero 2 for the Xbox 360. This was, I don't remember how much I paid for this, I want to say $6. Yeah, out of nowhere, I just started getting on a bit of a small kick for Guitar Hero Rock Band, and I was, I saw this, I figured I'd snag it. I hadn't played Guitar Hero 2 in a while, and ran through the career mode, and let me just say, so nostalgic to play through this game again. It's super fun. This is one of my favorite Guitar Heroes. It's awesome. I love the song list in this game, and still looks really good for a 360 game. So, yeah, I had a lot of fun playing this. So, yeah. All right, next, Star Ocean: The Divine Force. I want to say it's like $10-$20. Just another RPG. To pick up for the PS5. I've not played any Star Ocean games before. I did actually get around to playing the demo for Star Ocean: The Second Story R, and I loved that. I actually really enjoyed the demo for that, so I'll definitely be checking this out at some point. I've heard really good things about the Star Ocean series, so definitely look forward to trying that out. Alright, next, got the Legend of Nayuta Balanced Trails limited edition. This is kind of like a last minute thing. To my surprise, this is still in stock a few days after it came out. So yeah, this is the PS4 version. It comes with a lenticular cover, which I was not aware of. I did not know this. And yeah, we'll do an unboxing of this. So you got the slip cover and the artwork. So, if you're not familiar with this is a Falcom, an RPG from Falcom. From what my friend Stoltenheim told me, this was supposed to be part of the Zwei series. However, to get this game to sell, they decided to slap the Trails name on it, and I don't know the whole story of it, but yeah. So here's the actual game. The deluxe edition here, you get the game itself, a reversible cover. There you go. A mini art book, and there's also a download voucher for a soundtrack, which I have hidden behind it, behind the art book. You get a 2-disc soundtrack, which covers the whole soundtrack. The soundtrack voucher that's included on here is also the full soundtrack as well. So yeah, so you get a art book. It's called Endless Horizons. I'm not gonna flip through that because I want to avoid spoilers. You get a bookmark. Oh, bless me. Thank you. You get a bookmark. I'm taking allergy season to court. I'm just saying. Then you also get some acrylic figures. I'm not going to assemble these, but yeah. So I haven't really gotten around to playing this yet. I mainly snagged this because I had to get it. I've been wanting to grab more Falcom games. So, and also, this is a game that the person I mentioned earlier, Stoltenheim, he runs, and I've been wanting to run it too because it looks like a really fun game. So, but yeah, and this was also part of the reason why I hadn't, cause I had it installed on my my PlayStation TV, which I have hacked. I have installed through Adrenaline. I was like, then the English version got announced, and I was like, I might as well just wait for that. So, waiting for the PS4 version to come out, and yeah, I haven't got around to playing it yet, but it is, that will be something that gets played at some point. Alright, and lastly, I did pick up Persona 5 Tactica. Had to get it. I love Persona 5, so had to get it. Got this from Target. So you had to get it. And I grabbed it while I was on my lunch. So, and also, and I played a little bit of it. It's pretty solid, honestly. A pretty solid tactical RPG. It will remind you a lot of XCOM. So if you like the XCOM games, you will enjoy this. And it made some interesting. There's some interesting mechanics in this game. Like, for one, the game doesn't have the affinity system in the same sort of fashion, I guess you'd say. Instead, all the different skills, all the different spells and shit, all do different things. Instead of just exploiting weaknesses, they all do different things. Like the Garu spell will actually toss enemies. Let's see here. A melee attack will actually push enemies, and some abilities will also just catch enemies on fire and whatnot. It's but this game does still have the one more system, or I forget exactly what they call it, but you can still get an extra turn from getting crits in this game. And how that works is enemies have to basically be out in the open, and then you have to stun them with a you have to attack with your gun. So, yeah, that's how you get extra turns. There's other ways to do it as well, but yeah, they really took this combat system into a really interesting. I don't know. They did really interesting things with this game's combat system, and I think it works pretty well. So from what I played of it, I'm only a couple hours into it, but yeah, I'm enjoying it so far. I don't know. There are other games I'm trying to play right now, so but Persona 5 Tactica will get played at some point. And also, Sega did a promotion where if you sign up for like the like a newsletter thing, you get a patch, and so I did it. This is the patch you get. It's supposed to be like a flag, so like the flag you get that's in the game. So, but yeah, and you know, it's a cool little flag. So yeah. But unfortunately, I will say this game does have Day 1 DLC, which is dumb as hell. But you know, it is what it is. I'll admit I'm one of those people who does get the Day 1 DLC for these games because you know it does catch my attention. But I'll admit I'm feeding into it. But I'm not gonna tell you to buy it. I'm not gonna tell you to buy it. I'm not gonna say it's I don't agree with it, but these days that's just how it is, unfortunately. So, but yeah, but Persona 5 Tactica is also available on PS4, Xbox Series X and S, Xbox One, Switch, and PC through Steam. So yeah. Okay, that's it for the video games. Yeah, so I will show this first, because this I grabbed with my copy of Guitar Hero 2. I had no idea these existed. This is a Guitar Hero tab book that has tabs for songs that are in the games. I had no idea this existed. So, and being an actual guitar player, being someone who actually plays guitar, I was like, yeah, let me snag it. It was actually quite cheap. I want to say it was like less than $10. So, and these actually go for like, can actually be like $20-$30 on eBay. So, but I thought this was fascinating. I had no idea these existed. So, yeah, I thought it'd be fun to get some of those songs that I played all the time on Guitar Hero. So, yeah. Alright, next I do have some Blu-rays here. I don't know if this is everything that I got within the past 8, 10, 11 months or some shit, but I had to get the Mario Brothers movie. I did watch this in theaters. This movie was amazing. I was shocked by how good this was. Really enjoyed this. Actually, yeah, yeah, really good, honestly. This is just fun, you know, really funny as well. I would actually highly recommend this. Actually give this a chance. It is very good. I thought they did an amazing job in this movie. Alright, next is Chicken Run. Had to get this. I don't know, I love classic DreamWorks. I love this movie as well. It is just a classic movie, so I had to grab it on Blu-ray. Alright, next, this was a gift from my friend who goes by the name of Running Toast Girl 77. This is a Spirited Away cover album, I think it's called, where it's covers of songs from Spirited Away, and you know, Spirited Away, favorite Studio Ghibli film of all time, one of my favorite movies of all time. I love the soundtrack of this movie as well, and to have some of the like kind of redone versions of the music from this movie on vinyl is amazing. So would have preferred the actual soundtrack, but I'm not complaining. You know, I love the music on here. So, but yeah, I love this movie, and what was like there's a bit of coincidence in here, because not too long before getting this, I got this not too long before I went to go see the Spirited Away live on stage. I actually went to the theater to go watch that, and that was incredible. Like, I was amazed by that. Like, if you haven't watched it yet, it's coming out on Blu-ray. Definitely check it out. It was it was an amazing stage play. I cannot recommend it enough. So, but yeah, I was quite excited to get this. So, yeah, if you're seeing this, you know who you are. If you're seeing this, thank you for that. That's amazing. Alright, and this, had to grab this. It's not cheap, but I had to grab this because this is one of my favorite, or top 3 favorite video game franchises of all time. So, this is the Kingdom Hearts 10th Anniversary Vinyl LP box. It's not cheap, but I had to grab it. Admittedly, I do think this is overpriced, but I had to grab it, so... so yeah, let me open this up. So it comes in this really, really incredible looking box. Love the artwork going on there. Has the 20th anniversary logo. The icon for it. This up, we got a message from Yoko Shimomura. And then right here, so we have the 3 vinyls. So we have, this one is for Kingdom Hearts 1, has 15 tracks. Also has music from 350 over 2 days. And then we have Kingdom Hearts 2, which has 15 tracks. Sorry. 13 tracks, my bad. No pun intended in that either. Kingdom Hearts 3, which unfortunately only has 8 tracks, but it's 7 tracks from the game, including the DLC, and the trailer music that was used in the trailer of Kingdom Hearts 4, so we got that. And they're not especially colored or anything, like the vinyl discs themselves. It's just regular black vinyl. So you also get like a really cool sort of art piece right here. This was released for the 20th anniversary of Kingdom Hearts, as well as a stand for it. So yeah, had to grab this. I mean, like I said, Kingdom Hearts is one of my favorite video game franchises of all time. Top 3 for sure. And to have music from the game on vinyl, from these games on vinyl, especially for Kingdom Hearts 2, is amazing. So, yeah, and you know, to my surprise, I kind of have, for me at least, kind of have a decent amount of video game vinyl. Like, I have, like, yeah, most of the vinyl I have is soundtracks. I have the vinyl soundtrack for Doom, which I need to get a new copy, unfortunately, because it skips during BFG Division, which, you know, I wouldn't have minded it as much if it was any other song, but BFG Division, the best song in that game, in the whole series, honestly. So, yeah, I have to get a new vinyl for a new copy of the Doom 2016 vinyl. But anyways, I got the vinyl soundtrack for Final Fantasy IX, Shin Megami Tensei 3 Nocturne, some of the other ones. I got the vinyl soundtrack for Tron Legacy. I know it's a movie, but I digress. Scott Pilgrim vs. the World, the game, and the movie, which, by the way, Scott Pilgrim Takes Off was amazing. Anime of the year for me. And Nightmare Before Christmas. I think that's it in terms of video game vinyl. So, but yeah, so yeah, I think that's it. So yeah, there you have it. Thank you guys so much for watching. That's Game Collection Update number 8. Yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you all in the next video. Let me know in the comment section below what games you guys have gotten recently, and also stay tuned because I do plan on doing a updated PlayStation 4 game collection video in honor of the 10th anniversary of the PS4. So stay tuned for that. Yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you all in the next video. I'm CoffinSkate signing off, and have a great rest of your day.